All right. Hey, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. All right. Welcome. Welcome to the Mind of Loughridge. I hope everybody is doing well to the best of your ability. All right. I'm going to kind of give you all an opportunity to come on in the room. Um, yeah. Definitely want y'all to keep the homeboy, my little brother, Algernon Cooper, in prayer. Um, they laid to rest on in Mississippi, his dad. So, so I want you to keep him in your prayer, traveling grace to him and his wife and his kids and everybody else that is going to Mississippi to lay to rest in his hometown. And so we're definitely going to be keeping him lifted up in our prayers. All right. All right, so I'm going to get into a conversation tonight. So tonight is Can We Talk night, and this is really based upon some conversations that I've had with some people, and and I hope what I'm getting ready to share, speaks to many of you. That will be something that will help you during your moment or whatever, and I'm hoping that um, it'll give you some sense of encouragement or whatnot. All right. So I don't think I'm going to be too long, but I just want to share something tonight. And so I want to talk about um, this evening these words, and that is even the strong have weak moments. Even the strong have weak moments. Um, when you are a person of strength, when you are a person that is dependent upon, you are a person that people go to for everything. Sometimes people um, do not allow you to have a moment to be weak. They do not give you the opportunity to have a weak moment. Sometimes people look at courage as being something that you're never moved, you're never shaken. Um, your foundation is not challenged. Your um, mindset is not moved or whatever. And so, a lot of times, uh, the challenge and stuff is interesting, and you are at points and moments and times where you really have to reconsider how you do things, because you are not, to some people, allowed to. And I'm going to say that sometimes we have made the mistake ourselves of not allowing ourselves to have weak moments. um, this is not my focus, but a lot of times one of the moments that I hear where people want people to be strong is when they're going through a time of loss of a loved one, and you hear them holler out. And y'all have heard me say this on many occasions, be strong, be strong. No, don't be strong, be weak. Be human as it relates to this. Maybe courage has to be looked upon the fact that I know I'm vulnerable, but I'm not willing to allow this thing to overtake me. And so a lot of times, weakness, or having a weak moment rather, is not always celebrated. It is not always understood. Sometimes you're looked upon as you should know better. There are moments where vulnerability is a great thing. That it's like you can't feel that. There are moments and times you should be able to feel what you feel. There are times you need to be able to say, I'm not feeling this today. I'm not okay. And it's okay to tell people, even the people that rely upon you for strength, that come to you for advice or whatever, that come to you. It's okay for you, as strong as you are, as mighty as you are, to have weak moments. I didn't say a moment. I said moment, because if it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not that, it's other things. And so, one of the hardest situations sometimes is to find somebody to be vulnerable with, because you'll find out that everybody cannot handle your weak moment. Everybody is not capable of handling your weak moment. They're not able to handle you in that vulnerable state. They're not able to handle you mentally. They're not able to handle you emotionally. They're not able to handle you in many aspects. In some circles, depending on your circle, they're not able to handle you spiritually. And so sometimes it is difficult to navigate through different issues, different challenges, different things, and it's hard. And so I want you to understand, I want you to really get this in your mind, that, even the strong have weak moments. Life has a way of almost taking you out of here. And sometimes, you know, um, people become so caught up in what you have listen to this, what you have imparted into them, that whenever you're not imparting into them, or you're not there to impart, or you're not responding to them when they need you, or when they are in need of your advice. Now here's the deal. You have a record of being there. You have a record of being there. And I was talking to um somebody today, and I was telling them, this person was willing to throw away their friendship. They was willing to throw away their friendship only because of this moment, only of this because of this moment that they had. And I said, well, had you ever had this issue before? No. I said, so that this whole argument, this whole disagreement is not even based upon this moment that you're talking about. It's some previous situations that have happened. There's some previous situations that have gone down. And this really is where this is stemming from. This is where the root of it is. But she was like, no, I'm done. I'm not gonna deal with her no more. And I was like, uh, no, because they've seen, it's like, I'm always okay. You okay? You can have your weak moment. You can have your moment, but this moment, you cannot use in a sense, that would keep you from being true and authentic. You know what I'm saying? And being true to who you are as an individual. And so now, because of this moment that you're having, you're willing to demolish, abort everything. Excuse me, everything that um, you've built. You've built this relationship. I'm not talking about a repetitive thing per se, because then you may have to rethink how you want to go forward and how you want to process the whole relationship thing. But it takes work. It takes work. It takes work, and then you got to be mindful of people who want to inject. All right, their if you will, their medicine of advice, if you will, into your environment. Let me tell you something. Um, it is, it is very possible to be connected to a person and really not have the fullness of certain of you. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's why, um, I used to be that one who would say things like, um, you need to be the same person that the same. As a husband, you should be the same person you were when you got married. As a wife, you should be the same person. But there are certain things that are core that shouldn't shift and that shouldn't change. However, there are moments and times because your relationship has changed. You are not the same person because circumstances cause you to change, and that change does not always have to be a negative. Does not have to be something wrong. It could be a good change. You know what I'm saying? And you change and you evolve and you develop and you grow. You see what I'm saying? So, in those moments, I was telling this person, I was like, you need to have a conversation. You need to have that conversation. And the thing about it is, I said that most times, I said, if you have the conversation, be ready. Trust me when I tell you, be ready for no matter what you say, no matter how you say, that it's not going to be, received. It's not going to be understood. Because if I walk into a situation with a preconceived notion, if I walk into a situation with a mindset, a mentality, that's all already there, and it's just how I'm thinking. And this is it. Sometimes, isn't it amazing that other people can go through a time of change and develop and maturity, but you be the one that's strong, and you be the one, and you have a moment of vulnerability, or you be the one who have a moment of you didn't stand correctly. One of the most important things that come into my mind, it really depends on, as Pastor Kevin Ross once said, it depends on where you seated, right? Um, I'm not gonna focus on this, but it's the most one of the most recent moments of a strong person, if you will, having a weak moment. And we look at Will Smith and what he experienced and what he did. Whether we blame Jada Pinkett Smith, whether we blame him or whatever, that was a weak moment for a person who was strong. Let's vice versa. Let's look at it on the opposite scale. Let's look at let people say, oh my God, if I was Chris Rock, I wouldn't have done that. And some people, here it is, they celebrated, some people celebrated Will. You should stand up for your wife. You should stand up for your woman. A black man needs to stand up for his wife. And then the other people was like, yeah, he deserved to be assaulted, right? Then you have those who are on the side of, then you have those who was on the side of those who was on the side of Chris Rock. And it was like, yeah, he was a man of strength at that particular moment in time. It was a weak moment. Catch this. It wasn't a weak moment in the sense that some people, he created his moment, but it was a weak moment. And in that he exerted strength. But then when you find out, at least what Dr. Jamal Bryant shared, that there was a time that Chris Rock was mistreated, mishandled, pretty much almost bullied, and he almost killed somebody by putting, I think it was rocks in the bag. And so you see what I'm saying? So I'm saying even the strong have weak moments, and I believe we need to give those people the opportunity to have those moments. You know what I'm saying? You have those moments. And it seems like, when you begin to express, you begin to articulate, um, you know, um, some of the, somebody asked me earlier, it was like, Loughridge, Mr. D, how you doing? I said, I'm okay. And it was like, why do you say okay? And why didn't you say something different? And they said, why you didn't say something different? And I said, because I am okay. Well, why you didn't say this? I said, do you really want to know? And they was like, yeah. I said, you sure you want to know? Now, mind you, it's a teenager talking to me. I said, you sure you want to know? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. So I told him, this is a season, in a year. Next month, my best friend, my bro, be a year since he died, and I'm struggling with this and been struggling, and just there's not a day I've not struggled. And when it comes to difficult moments and trying moments, and when it comes to very high difficult moments, he's not the one I can go. He's not I can't call him. I can't go to him. Like I normally would or whatever, and so especially in those moments when it's very testing and trying, and I'm like, oh God, help me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is difficult. This is hard. And so I shared it with him, and he was like, he said, well, that makes sense. And he said to me, then it's okay for you, to feel what you're feeling, Mr. D. It's okay. Thank you for sharing that. I said, thank you for asking. Listen, there was nothing he could do to move my emotions. There was nothing he could do, but sometimes people need to know that you're concerned, or some people need to know that, hey, you know what? I can't change it. I can't bring that loved one back. But just know, man, that, I'm sorry. Sometimes that's all you can say. But I just don't want us to be at this point where we don't give people that are strong opportunities. Do you not know there are people who tell people what and so is really going through, and this one is just, she's really experiencing a hard time, and he's really experiencing a hard time, and they share this with other people, but then when they're in their private moment, sometimes that person is destroyed. It's like you publicly understand, but privately you're damning that individual. And so I want you to understand, let the strong person have a moment when they don't feel like talking. Let the strong person have the moment to feel like, I don't feel like praying for you. I don't feel like preaching. I don't feel like teaching today. I don't let them have that moment, because we have those moments. Now, that doesn't mean you have to collapse, because I think, honestly, I really feel that if we don't have the moments and we don't deal with these moments will take us out. And I'm telling you, you have to have the moments, and it does not take away your strength. I gotta be strong, and I gotta be this, and I gotta be that, and I gotta be. No, you gotta take care of yourself. And I think one of the moments, one of the weakest, one of the strongest yet weakest parts of me is sacrificing me for the sake of others. And so when I made decisions not to care about that anymore, I made a decision. When I say not to care, not to say that your feelings don't matter, but I made a decision to be like, some people was like, I said, well, I'm not going to be hard, and I'm not hard, but I made a decision. It was like, you know what? I'm not about to invest in this. Then you start realizing that people, they start reaching out to you, and they want you to do favors, and they want you to do this. These same individuals don't reach back to you. They don't reach out. They don't call. They don't text. They don't do anything. But I guarantee you, the minute they don't hear from you, and the minute you don't do X, Y, and Z, then they're in their emotions, and they're in their feelings, and they're in all of that. And then you let them say it. So then it's like, okay, well, give me feedback. Give me feedback. Like, do you really want the feedback? And so now you, as an individual, are trying to not intrude, if you will, on somebody else's weak moment. But that person has put you in a weak moment. You know what I'm saying? They put you in a weak moment because it's like, hey, do you understand? I think people, do you understand that the pressure, of what I've done, what I've dealt with, or what I'm going through? And then it's almost like, yeah, I get it, but what do you mean you get it, but? See what I'm saying? So I want you to understand that even the strong have weak moments. I need you to check up on the people who is always doing stuff, always there. When you forever leaning and depending on other people, when you are, relying on them to do stuff. You make the move. You make the effort. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, every people got, oh, you didn't check up on me. Well, did you check up on me? So then it becomes almost a tit for tat thing. It becomes, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type. And that's sometimes the way it comes off. But I don't believe that's always the case. I think people really want people to feel like they have been genuinely concerned about, y'all have heard me say this. People say all the time, oh, everybody can't be a Dwayne Lawford. I don't want everybody to be Dwayne Lawford. I want you to have walking compassion, walking compassion. There are times, um, you know, I've had all kind of people say, well, how do you deal with that? And it's like, in my mind, I like the same way I deal with you. Type ordeal, how do you deal with her? How do you deal with them? How do you deal with him? How do you deal with that? And sometimes it's not dealing. Sometimes, and I learned this from John Brown, and I'm a paraphrase. I can't remember the words, but he said something to the magnitude that when you accept people for who they really are, you will stop being disappointed and discouraged by their behavior. And that really speaks volumes, because it's like, there's nothing else I can say. There's nothing else I can do about it. And so I just want to encourage you. Even the strong have weak moments. So if a person that you've been used to, that's been there, through thick and thin, and and they're not there, how about how about talking, I hate it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, now let me be honest and let me be straightforward. I don't say honest because I think I'm pretty honest about a lot of things, truthful about a lot of things. Um, there are times I purposely don't text people back because I want to see, what's your response, and now there are times I don't see it. You know, there's a lot of people that be like, "Yeah, I know you. You always got your phone in your hand." Well, you be surprised. It may be in my hand or on my person, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm always in it like that. It may appear that way a lot. A lot of times I'm reading stuff. I'm reading, and sometimes my text messages or whatever don't come in. You know, um, you know, I've had people, I had several people. We sit up here like, okay, so you can do your live and you can do this, and I've had several people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not just one person, but several people. You can do this and do this. Okay, well, have you ever asked, did I push myself to do it? Did I make myself do it? You know what I'm saying? I know there are moments in time, real talk, there are times that, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not responding back as fast as I should when it comes to stuff. But it's nice when strong people have people reach out and be like, I was thinking about you today. Not watch this, not when a person posts, not when a person says, okay, I'm having a weak moment, or not when somebody says, I'm not having the greatest day. You know what I'm saying? Not when that is done. I'm talking about when you think they're okay, when you think, they're having the most excellent day in the world. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the people who apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I should have reached out. I should have did this. I should have did that. But I was going through my junk. Okay, so you can go through your junk, and you can go through your mental navigation, and you can go through your emotional journey and go through whatever level of processing that you have to do. But that strong one cannot do it. When I need you, you need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Don't when I call on you, you need to answer. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes I would say sadly, and that was a big major issue with me, I extended myself to the point that people, became, I don't know, was it self-indulgent or whatever? But the point being is, I need you to back all the way off and give people that opportunity, to be strong. To you church people, let me just say this, don't use a person's um, you know, um, how you see them. There's a lot of people who are very surprised how when they have a conversation with you on the phone, it's like, man, that the person that I see in the pulpit, yeah, that's a whole nother. It's still Dwayne Lawfridge, but I'm in ministry mode. I'm yielding myself totally to what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. I'm yielding to what He's saying. That doesn't mean does that mean I'm not yielding when I'm not in the pulpit? No, but it just simply means at that moment, I'm operating in who He wants me to operate in at that time. If He wants me to sing, I'll sing. If He wants me to do, I'll do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I operate in. So when they talk to me on the phone, it's like, man, you're just totally different. Why? Because it's a one-to-one conversation. You feel me? It's a one-to-one conversation, and want to make sure that to the best of my ability that I'm being as respectful as I can. You know what I'm saying? And so I really want you to take that into consideration. When the one that you depended on the most, when the one that you relied on the most, the one that you call on, the one that you can go to, the one that you can roll over to their house without a phone call. You can just roll up and be like, "Yo, I'm outside," and you like, "Oh, okay," because that's y'all's relationship. But when that person is not there, you know, when that person is not as consistent, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the week, have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, the strong have, weak moments. They do have the weak moment. They have that moment when they are not as strong as they desire to be. They are not as, jubilant because situations happen in life that a person is not as jubilant. And I just want you to realize, let them have that strong moment. You know, um, woe unto people who, who, how I want to say this, woe unto people who hold people hostage to their personality of strength when they're weak. But when that person who's normally strong is weak, then they don't respect that person as well. And that's why I want to say, can we talk? Can we talk about that? Can we really, really, really handle that? It's something that really needs to be, really need to be considered. Because there are some people that'll catch you in a moment and they'll destroy your life. I, Me personally, I'm just going there. Me personally, said I'm gonna make it about it, but now I'm thinking about it. Um, when I look at Will Smith now, all of this, we taking his movies down, and we gonna hold up whatever the thing he's supposed to be doing. Come on now, now you're crucifying the brother. You know what I'm saying? Yes, what he did to was in error, but we crucifying people. We crucify. I remember when Bill Cosby went through his experience, right, and his accusation, and how many people just got rid of the situation. And I'm not justifying him, because a lot of people was looking at Cliff Huxtable, and Cliff Huxtable was a character, and Bill Cosby is the person. But I'm looking at, what was that person? I can't think of his name, from the television show. I think Seventh Heaven. He had done something. He had done something on the same scale, but but Seventh Heaven was still going. People was removing the Cosby Show. So they was going through major, extremes when it comes to certain stuff. So I'm saying this to say, when people have their weak moments, um, it does not mean because they're having their weak moments that we have to crucify them and bury them. But I'm telling you, people would bury you. They would try to literally, they would try to kill you mentally. They would try to kill you emotionally. They would try to kill relationships. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to kill you on every side, and you almost feel like you're totally suffocating, like you're about to really lose your mind. And so I want you to understand that even the strong have weak moments. They have their weak moments, you know. And like I said, I'm not justifying wrongdoing. I'm talking about weak moments. They snapped today. Okay, what's wrong with you? Sometimes people have been dealing with so much internal damage. And let me tell you something. One of the hardest things to do is to recover. And that's just in general. Some people have not really, there's people I know who are going through, still recovering from COVID. They're still recovering from having cancer in their body. They're still recovering, from a loss of a job, and had to restructure their way of living. They was used to living a certain way, and so now they didn't snapped, and now they're more sensitive, and they're more snappy. Now they don't justify the snappiness, but I think because they've been so strong for so long, and now their life has shifted. And so now they're trying to adjust to this new way of thinking, to this new way of living. They're trying to, they was used to high maintenance. And so now they cannot be in high maintenance. So I want you to really, really, take that, into consideration. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just trips me out. And I've said this to a lot of people. They talk to me about different people, and I'll be like, you tripping me out. And I was like, what you mean? I was like, you know, You can make a mistake. You can do wrong. But that person did wrong and you burying it. But they're older than me, or they're mature than me, or they're this. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And I know that's, I've been guilty of it. Like, oh no, no. Yeah, are there moments and times maturity level needs to be at a point that we do not succumb to the immaturity? Yes, but I'm also saying that in your weak moment, people should be able to come and say, I got a drinking problem, and you not look at them like, hey, how you got a drinking problem? You this, that's the first thing we go into, badgering. But let's try to figure out another way. What's going on? Why are you drinking? What's going on? Why are you so angry? And sometimes people don't even realize, they're behaving a certain way. I had to literally go. I remember she was telling me, you know, you just sing this way and this way. And I was like, Lord, I don't even understand, you know, um, where that's coming from. And I was like, okay, you got to really reveal it because I really don't know. And she was like, oh, you coming all snappy and you this and that. And I was like, that is not the case. But so finally, I really, really, really had to, you know, um, I really, really had to ask God to really reveal it because when I tell you I was dumb to it, I was dumb. When I dumb ignorant to it, I didn't know. And then it finally came. So then, of course, an apology had to come about. But let me tell y'all something. Um, sometimes in situations when you have, a strong person has been weak, you know, it goes back to what I said. We want that strong person when we're weak, to receive us and to allow us to go, if you will, through our recovery. But when that strong person has a vulnerable moment, has that weak moment, their recovery has to be quick. It has to be shifted. It has to be changed. It has to be, and to me, personally, that's an unfair um, mindset, to have, you know. You'd be surprised how some of us want to breathe and can't breathe at certain points in times. I've had those moments. I was like, really, Lord, like this is not the case. So I wanted to do a can we talk? I want us to really, really think about it. Even the strong have weak moments. Any questions anybody have? And I'm about to sign off. Um, I really want you to really think about it. I want you to think about it. Reach out to the person. You know, um, they don't need me. No, they will need you. Just like that person who asked, hey, Mr. D, you all right? How you feeling? I said, I'm okay. And then he asked me, and then I told him. You know what I'm saying? Um, even the strong, all right? Even the strong have weak moments, and you need to. It's okay to have those weak moments. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, and this is so important. Yeah, check on your strong friends. Check on them. Check on these people. I'm telling you, you will literally be surprised. Check on people. Don't just assume that that person is fine and they're okay. And no, check on them. Well, they seem okay. Some of us, trust me, we perform. Y'all feeling me? We perform. You know what I'm saying? We perform. And I don't say that in a negative sense, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I've dealt with issues getting ready to preach and stuff hit me. See what I'm saying? I've been in those places where I'm getting ready to preach or I'm getting ready to go do something that's productive, and then all hell breaks loose. It just comes from different directions, from different people. Sometimes the enemies of your life, sometimes the people that are closer to you. It comes from all kind of directions. And then you still got to do what you got to do. You know, I've been in that moment where I was so caught up and so jacked up, that I was like, whatever. And I'm going to have perform and I'm going to have do this and I'm going to have do that. But I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it and I won't do it, But I've also learned this, I've also learned that, I've also learned that sometimes people's opinion of you seems like it's everybody else's opinion. And then when you have conversation with different people, they'll be like, no, that, there was a situation that happened not too long ago. And yesterday or the day before? Now, I don't, I found, watch this. Sometimes, watch this. People, it's difficult to have conversation with people about a weak moment because sometimes the person that you are having a weak moment about, they don't know how to be quiet. It's like, okay, I'm letting you know what's going on. I mean, nobody is tripping. But then, oh, a birdie told me. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to know that I just had a conversation with you, and within what 30 minutes, an hour, you didn't already said something to somebody, and now you're looking at me because you tell them, oh, he's looking at me, he's looking at me. No, you're guilty. And so I had a conversation with somebody, and when I had the conversation, I said, you be tripping. And they thought I was going to bring up that situation. I know this was in their mind. No, I'm not about to talk about that. That's not even my focus. I never brought it up. That's your situation. You were told something, and then you took it to a whole other place. So I know how not to handle you in that situation. But I'm just saying it. That has happened today, and I was like, okay. Somebody was like, yeah, they was like, you gonna look at it, they look how you look out. Shh, you're guilty. Because of what I do, I gotta look in certain direction. So it's like you're guilty. You feel some type of way because you betrayed. So it's like, So I know you're kind, right? I know that when it comes to certain people, you're gonna punk down. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna punk out. You're gonna punk out, and there's a lot of people who punk out because somebody else's weakness. Now, you're not going to correct the person in their weakness. You're not going to correct it. No, you're not going to correct it. So it's a big, major issue. And so, and I had to tell somebody, about a situation. I said, it's their weak moment. You don't become weak because they're weak. But I get it. You're upset. You're mad. Your name is out there in a way that should not be. And now you feel in some type of way. You have a right to feel that type of way. I'm just trying to encourage you not to be a fool, not to do that. But sometimes you go off on people and you lose it. And then it's like, oh, well, it's out there. And sometimes after you've done shady stuff, it's hard to recover. You see what I'm saying? It's really hard to recover. Let me take that back. It's not really hard to recover. It's hard for people to allow you to recover because they'll forever hold it in your face or they'll throw it at you. And so I just want you to understand that even the strong have weak moments. And hear this as I close. Um, Understand that when you have your weak moment, some people will never let you live it down. They'll never let you live it down. And that's the thing sometimes you're gonna have to live with in your weak moment. In your weak moment. In your weak moment. Um, it's amazing how people um, would use other people to how can I say it? It's amazing how people would use other people to test who you are. And then when what they have done becomes exposed, then there is a nastiness that comes. Okay. It comes with the territory. And so I just want you to know, even the strong have weak moments. So I want you to press on. I want you to continue to do what you do. Um, Learn and live and learn. And learn to your best of your ability not to make a repeat of certain things that you've done, okay? This is Can We Talk? Even the strong have weak moments. So if you break down, break down. Um, you know, there's some things I've been contemplating and thinking as well. Maybe I will. You know, um, you know, it's hard to recover from grief when you're dealing with the first grief. So, um, but one thing I'm grateful for as a person that I don't, I don't hide my emotions. Well, I don't know. I'm saying hide. I don't suppress my emotions. But I also know how not to be a fool because you acting like one. Now I can go off. I can get there, but my medicine, my safe place is prayer. My safe place is the beach. Somebody was talking to me today and was like, yeah, maybe we need to get together and go to the beach and just chill. You know, was told I'm not a Dwayne Johnson, and I respect that. That's my boy John Bernard. I'll say it. Yeah, I'm not but I'm a safe place. Let me tell y'all something. And let me make it very plain. You know, something ever happened to me, there's no way you can replace me in DeAndre's life, in Andre's, Soraya's, Etrees. You can't, Wyland, David. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the power to come in and replace that. See what I'm saying? And so you don't have that. So I appreciate people who understand my relationship with Dwayne Johnson. I appreciate it. My relationship with my boy that live in Michigan is not a Dwayne Johnson relationship, but it's our relationship, and we've been close. Like God loved me so much till He put two people with almost similar stories together. Dwayne older, I'm older than Desmond. Not that many years older. Dwayne's not that many years. Was not that many years older than me. But the point being is, I had people. I had people. I have, and I had. Um, Still troubles me to say about Dwayne Johnson. Had. So, um, yeah, that's still troublesome to me, even to associate his name with had. So, yeah, yeah. So anyway, even the strong have weak moments. Okay. All right, I'm done. With no questions. Um, when you have your weak moment, just make sure that the moments of weakness are not overwhelming you till you can't function. But it's okay for even the strong have weak moments, and it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel, and it's okay not to be okay too. And it's okay to say those words. You see what I'm saying? Because admitting your weak moment does not make you less strong. May I suggest to you that acknowledging your weakness will be a very strong indication of your strength. Because it takes a strong person to realize I'm not strong in this. It takes a strong person to realize I need some help. It takes a strong person to realize I'm suffocating. It takes a strong person to create within themselves space to be vulnerable, but also space to grow from that vulnerability and to allow other people into that space to help them not to be overwhelmed by the space that they're in. All right. Let me do this. Father, thank you. Pray that you strengthen the people who are feeling so despondent or feel like they can't breathe, feel like they can't make any false moves. I want you to help them all, Lord. Give them the strength that they need to go through. Help that one that is there for everybody. And one who calls and the one who is consistent to the best of their ability. And then when when they're not being as consistent, their relationships get judged. They begin to evaluate it and say, hey, I don't think we're this anymore. I don't think we're that anymore. Help, Lord. Help men hearts that have been broken because of strong people's weak moments. And help people who are weak be healed because the one that they would look to for strength wasn't there. Help, God, in the name of Jesus. And I pray that statement that hurt people will shift from hurt people, heal people. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all. I'm out. Remember, even the strong have weak moments. Good night.